stuff.
Go on.
Good stuff.
Right, go on.
Should we check?
No, we always go. Go.
How do we film this? Give it in the video. Oh, with the camera.
Go on, go.
Ah.
Go.
Hi everyone, it's Catherine and Laura from Catherine and Laura Explore, and today we thought we'd have a little bit of a different video for you. It's time to spill some tea. We went to the Lush Showcase, which was on Sunday and Monday the 23rd and 24th of September. We decided to go on the Sunday just because we thought it would be a little bit more, we thought it would be empty,
Yeah.
but we were obviously wrong. And we wanted to go because we just thought it would be a nice event. It's a brand that we really love, it's a brand that we've loved for years, and we've been to more local bloggers events in our local Lush in Liverpool, and they've always been really good and we've really enjoyed them, so we thought, well, the Lush Showcase will just be on a bigger scale with more stuff, more people to talk to, and we thought it would be like a really good fun day for us to go out and have a day in Manchester. Boy, were we wrong.
So we got to Manchester at about 10:10 on the Sunday morning because trains and coaches on Sundays are a little less frequent than they usually are on any other day. So we got the coach, we got off the coach station, which was what 10-minute walk. Dead easy to get to the
Completely easy.
convention centre. As we got there, outside there was like a little setup. So like if you go into like the middle of a Lush shop, there's like usually a little round thing, and they had like a bath with all like bath bombs that we'd already seen.
We were like, oh cool, like a little bath fountain, that's cute.
As we walked up, we were like, okay, so there must be like 4 separate queues or something.
Because the stairs going up to the convention centre had 4 queues just piled up the stairs. There was no like ticket barriers or anything, so we thought, oh, we'll just join this one. This one might be quicker, like I should usually do. It took us about, what, 10-15 minutes to get into the actual venue. Turns out it wasn't 4 separate queues, it was just one big queue filtering through a door, so there was no like organisation of that at all really.
Which is the theme.
It wasn't that bad, to be honest. Like, we got in, there was like 2 separate queues when you actually got into the venue. One for Lush staff and one for customers and like members of the public.
We were separated between Lush staff and Lush guests, people who didn't work for Lush, who just wanted to showcase by wristbands. Our wristband was yellow, look like this.
Pretty cool, like a nice ribbon one, like obviously to reduce like paper waste. And normal like festival wristbands, as you'd like typically call it. So that wasn't too bad, but the reason that they had a Lush staff and a Lush customer queue is because how Lush usually do the showcase is they invite staff from across the world, all their different Lush shops, to come and like work for them. So we got speaking to a girl whilst we were in there, and she said that how they do the shift pattern is you get one long shift and one short shift. So the idea is on your short shift you can have a look around the showcase and like buy your own products and stuff, which we initially thought was a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Because they could just say, oh well, you'll have to work 2 long shifts and not experience any of the actual showcase yourself. We'll come back to that point later. When we got in, we decided that our best strategy was to look around and just see what was there. So there was like hair care sections, makeup sections, sections about like Lush's beliefs and like ethical consumerism and stuff like that. So we thought, since it's our first showcase, we've never been to any event like this before, we thought we'd just see what was on offer first and then create like a plan of action. So on our route round, we realised that it was much bigger than we expected. So when you went in, there were like stalls dotted around, and it was basically just a large hall full of stuff. There was like a slide, and there was a stage, and then there was like these balloons that went up and down. We were like, oh, this is really cool, this is like a bath festival, do you know what I mean? So we ended up first walking down the left hand side of the convention hall, and it led us to the shop section. Now the shop section was like, I'd say the back third of the hall, and it basically just looked like a big Lush shop.
Yeah.
It just had like products and like it had like stands. It didn't really have anything new in terms of like layout.
No, it was like newer things that they had were basically the new Christmas products that weren't coming out for a week. The Halloween stuff, which we'd already seen from the Lush Liverpool's bloggers event. There was a swag section in the corner, which was your sweatshirts, your bags, your jumpers, your badge things that you can stick on,
Like patches and stuff.
that's the word I'm looking for.
So we thought we'll have a look around here and then we'll see what else is on offer around the other side of the convention, like hall centre.
Yeah,
And then we'll go get lunch because it was coming up to about 12ish after we'd like finished doing our whole walk around. So we first went to the makeup section, didn't we?
I had decided that day not to put any makeup on because it was too early for me to get up and put any makeup on.
Relatable.
And I decided to get my skin matched by the new foundation.
It was quite cool.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah, we waited 20 minutes to get that done.
Which wasn't too bad.
No, it was cool. By that point, you could see that the convention centre started to get quite tight. It was quite busy.
It was getting a bit crowded at that point because the thing with all the sections is that there were no like boundaries. So it was kind of just like having like little tables set up around the hall. That meant if you were like getting your makeup done, you don't have products, people would just keep like banging into you because they were like trying to get somewhere else like via this section, which was a bit inconvenient, but it wasn't like
It is
a problem.
Yeah.
We then went and got lunch. So the way that lunch worked is that there was a separate like hall coming off the main convention centre,
Like the canteen bit.
where they had like vegan and vegetarian stalls. In theory, good idea. Got no problem with vegetarian or vegan food. I will literally eat anything. I'm a complete foodie. I really don't care. So we were like, oh, we'll go get the mac and cheese. We got our mac and cheese after our cheeky 40-minute wait. And when we got it, it was like, say like a tray this big, which was like half mac and cheese, one dumpling, and like a bit of salad, which was like, it was okay.
And I was like, what I'll do is, I'll pay for it because I'm nice. I'll pay for the food and Laura can pay for some of the bath bombs.
Got to the till, and it cost
£13.
wow,
For two.
£13 for 2 mac and cheese, which I know lots of people are going to say, oh well that's not unreasonable. I know it's not, it could have been well more expensive. I've been to more events where the food is more expensive, but you just kind of, like we could have left, but then to come back in, you have to queue to get back in. So we were kind of stuck in a situation where we had to get it, do you know what I mean? So I do think that the food could have been a little bit more affordable, or maybe had like food at different price points. Another thing that wasn't advertised when you queued up for the food was how much it would cost.
Yeah.
So it was just like a board with what it was on it, but not the price. Which
So you got different.
I'm not sure whether that was done deliberately, but I feel like
It was.
probably could have been a strategic move.
Yeah.
That people just end up getting the food and going, oh, I'll have to pay anyway.
Yeah.
When we got our food, we went to find a seat. Now, by this point, pretty much everybody who was going to come on the Sunday had turned up. This meant that there were no seats. So we ended up sitting
On the
on
floor.
the floor and ate our expensive mac and cheese.
Which was disgusting.
I mean, that's a bit fun.
No, honest to God, it tasted. I didn't eat most of it. It tasted like I couldn't chew it, and it's probably because I was expecting it to taste like cheese, and it was vegan cheese, and it didn't. And I'm sorry if you're a vegan. I couldn't. It was horrible. Never again. Sorry.
On a lighter note,
Oh,
I thought it was like not bad.
it's stuck in your mouth. It's like I was eating cardboard.
Probably wouldn't eat it again. But by that point, it was like, ah well, it's one of those things.
You know, buy chocolates on the way back to the coach.
You know when you get like a bad meal, you're like, it's okay. It's not like day ruiner. When we went back in, we said, where do we go next?
The shop.
We decided to go back to the shop.
Because we were like, what we'll do is, we can buy some products now. We've seen what they do. We wanted to go make a bath bomb, but they'd run out of bath bomb powder to make a bath bomb.
We got told that they were going to find some more bath bomb powder, which was like essential for making a bath bomb. And we found out later of somebody else that it was from one of the other Manchester stores. which I found a bit strange considering that a big convention with hundreds of staff and thousands of guests would have to rely on a smaller Lush store for like products, which I found a bit strange.
Yeah.
But we were like, alright, we'll come back later. Not a big deal really.
No.
It was a bit disappointing, but we were like, what are you gonna do? Something we forgot to mention was for this event we paid £20 each to get in. It wasn't a free event, which like wasn't too bad. Like £20, I spent £20 on a lot worse.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that big of a deal at the time. But you'll come to find out why this is a key point.
Yeah.
So we got to the shop, which bear in mind when we got there at first, it was early, but we literally walked through. Like there was nothing. We could freely walk in and walk out. When we got there seemed to be like a queue that was going around the side of each entrance. There was like a fence to cut off the shop from the rest of the section, and then 2 queues going around. So we asked a member of staff, and she was like, "Oh well, we got 5 tills, and 3 of the tills are down, so we're running off 2 tills. We've been told we can't let anybody else in for now." Which we were a bit like,
Alright, so
right, okay.
What time will we get in then? And she was like, about 2:30. And it was about, what, 1:45? Half 1-ish?
About 1:30. So we were like, it's what, an hour wait?
Yeah.
It's not that bad. We've got nothing else really to do. We do want the products. So we stood in that queue, and at that point, they had like an exclusive coming out. Something that Lush do during this showcase is they have like exclusive bath bombs that come on for like an hour during the day, and you can get them from a little van in the middle section of the convention centre. And once they're gone, they're gone. So we didn't realise this for the first bath bomb that came out. We only realised after we heard people talking about it. So we'd set an alarm for the second one, which was a black rose bath bomb, which smelled like rose jam, and I'm like in love with it. So I was like, well, I'll go and get that, and I'll stay in the queue. And then what I said to Catherine was, if you call me when you get in, then like we'll be able to sort something out. I was thinking if she'd get in within an hour, and I'd be waiting for a little bit longer because it was exclusive. So I went down, and my queue was only say 20 minutes. It wasn't really that long. So that wasn't too bad. There were like people there, like staff dressed up to like keep you entertained, and like you got like little trials of like what it looked like the usual Lush store. So that was fine. 20-minute wait, not a problem. When I was like at the front of the queue, I called Kath and I was like, "Are you in yet?" And she was like, "Oh no, still waiting. Just come back when you've got it." So I came back, and when I got back, you were sitting on the floor with 2 other people.
So I'm quite good in queues from queuing at concerts, making friends in a queue. So I was like, oh, I'm going to sit down, my legs are hitting the scale behind me. Well, that's a good idea. So we sat down, and she was with her friend, and we were on the floor. And I went to them, "Oh, how long have you been waiting?" And they were like, 2.5 hours in this queue to get into the shop. And they paid £45 for the Lush Lab exclusive. So I was like, "Oh, what did you get in the Lush Lab exclusive?" Because you got like a bag. And she opened this tote bag, which was multicoloured and lovely. I got to borrow soon. So we were like, "Oh yeah, what else did you get?" And she pulled out a packet of stickers. So we were a bit like, You didn't get to skip any queues. They waited as long as us. So as long as everybody else. Even longer in some cases. Yeah, like it got advertised as like a VIP experience. Like you pay more than everybody else. Like it's like a typical VIP At a concert or a festival.
Yeah, like you get something extra, not just a bar of soap in a bag. So we were a bit like, that's a bit weird. So we waited in this queue for how long now, would you say? In like minutes. Well, it got to 2:30, so we've been waiting there for at least an hour for them to say, no, 3 o'clock. So at this point there's like 5 Lush staff with like little signs that you like put in the shop window to say like, "Oh, sorry, we're not here right now." And when people kept coming up, they were just like, "No, you can't get in. No, that's why you can't get in." Like no explanation, like we got. They were just like then telling people, "You can't get in. You can't do it. No, we're not letting you in." So people were a bit like, "Right, okay." And there was a girl behind us and her mum was on crutches, and she had to speak to a member of staff, and she was like, "Listen, this is a bit stupid. Can we like get in, or can we like add a seat?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, right. We'll get you a seat." and she was like, I'm not being funny, this is a bit stupid now, it's ridiculous, we wait an hour. Like, this was, we weren't told that we'd have to wait. And basically all she did was got handed a customer service number, which seemed to happen whenever there was like an issue or a complaint. They'd just go, customer service number. Like they'd been told by somebody that that's what they'd do if there was an issue. What we noticed while standing in the queue is that there was no like managerial like structure. It was kind of just all the managers and all the Lush staff thrown together from all the different stores. And then apart from like Lush like general staff and then shop managers, there didn't seem to be anybody higher up. There didn't seem to be any like supervisors or like general region managers or like somebody with like a good idea
of what was going
on. So I'm not blaming the Lush staff for this at all, because they probably hadn't been told what was going on. They were just trying to deal with the situation at hand.
Yeah.
So how long did we wait in that queue, would you say?
Close up to 2 hours. I think we got in about 3:30ish. And most people would be like, well, why didn't you just leave? But there was a queue for everything else by this point, so we were just like, right, we'll get in, we'll get the stuff, we'll go on the balloons. Hopefully they will have got some bath powder by then, we can make some stuff, we'll be fine, we'll be able to get in, get it and get out.
So we didn't realise when we got in that just because the tills, like they were only running, like by this point I'm sure they were only running on like one till because all the tills have gone down. When we got in, we were like, okay, so we'll like grab everything quick. So we got all of our stuff because we'd realised that when you were in there was also a queue that went right the way around the store. There must have been, 100 people in the queue at that point?
At least.
So we were like, oh, we'll get the stuff and we'll just get it and go. But we noticed that like to the left of the shop there was like
a craft area.
We could make something for free, and we thought we queued for 2 hours near enough. We may as well make something for free, do you know what I mean? So we made like these like cute little makeup bags that were just like, oh, you can paint them yourself, like that's cool.
It was really nice. They were actually really nice, those members of staff.
Once we finished doing that, we got like our free product, which was cool. We went to join the queue, didn't we? Because we were like, we're literally never gonna get these products otherwise. We waited in the queue, and like the queue by this point was like snaking right the way around the shop and then through the middle. So we stood there and we were like, it can't be any longer than what we've just waited outside. So we waited in that queue for about 40 minutes, didn't we?
It was an hour.
Was it an hour?
It was an hour.
So we waited for like an hour with our stuff.
To move this much.
We literally moved like 3 steps in that like hour, and then we heard a couple of girls in front of us who were like talking, and one of the friends was like, oh yeah, I've just asked one of the members of staff and they said the wait would be minimum 3 hours.
And I was like, I'm not waiting 3 hours to buy 2 bath bombs, a bubble bar and a bag, when in 2 weeks I can get the same Christmas products in Liverpool.
Like literally. And we were like, that means that we would have waited to get into the shop and to get the products as a whole 5 hours.
5 hours.
An event that we paid £20 for.
And we hadn't tried half the stuff yet.
So we were like, oh no, let's not even bother. Like, I know it sounds stupid to wait that long to just give up, but by that point we were just over it.
It was done.
We were just completely over it because we just felt that like we'd been just completely mugged off.
And one of the annoying things was that when we were waiting outside to get in, one of the girls was like, oh, the problem is we didn't realise that this many people were going to come, so if we knew, we'd have more tills on.
So there were 5 tills for this shop. There was maybe 8 tills at the whole event, I'd say. Like, to have a member of staff say that to us and say we weren't expecting like this many people, like we didn't have like capacity numbers. We bought our tickets online.
Everybody bought a ticket to get there. You had to buy a ticket.
You couldn't buy on the door, so you either bought your ticket online or you bought your ticket in store. Both methods of buying those tickets would have provided the company with a number. They were all through the official Lush store. The company somewhere, maybe in multiple documents, would have a number of how many people they were expecting to get in. Otherwise, they would have just let people come in on the door.
Yeah.
They would have a number. And I don't know who in that company thought that 5 tills would be enough for thousands of people. I'm not sure how many were there.
No.
Would you say about like, I'd say
at least 5,000 people.
4,000, 5,000 people?
Yeah.
Which like, is a lot. And like, I know people will say, well, they weren't sure that like 5,000 people would be there at the same time, but it's still not enough. Like 5 tills is barely enough for one Lush store with say 200 customers a day. It's not enough for that many people, and I think it's ridiculous that like I wouldn't have minded if the event was free. I wouldn't have had a problem. I would have said, oh well, it was free. They didn't have the funds to like pay for more tills. Like, which sounds stupid as Lush is a big company as it is. I know they try and sell themselves on being like small, like, oh, we're like your best friend corner store type thing, like we're ethical. They are a big company, bigger than you like think. Like, we only have our little store, but just to see the scale of this convention that they were trying to pull off, it's a big company. It's like multinational and everything. It's got hundreds of stores. We met staff from Germany, from Japan, Korea, everywhere. So they're not a small store, and I think that it was stupid to blame the failings of the queues on the fact that they didn't know that they'd have that many people.
I think of that size, you have to plan for all eventualities, and it just felt like they hadn't.
Like, I know from like watching other videos, like the past couple of years haven't been that big, and it just felt like they were trying to go way too big this time. And like, it wasn't just, the problems didn't just come up in that queue. We went to queue up to like ride a balloon ride. We got told that queue would be an hour. When we went to try and make another bath bomb, we queued for there 45 minutes, which wasn't too bad, but considering we got told to come back in 2 hours because they had to go get bath bomb pads from somewhere else. There were like places where you could like get products, but there were no tills there, so you still had to go to the shop to pay for them, which meant that you were still queuing for hours. There were like only maybe 3 things to do that were free and that were like available for you to just go with no queue. And one of them was a slide. One of them was a jelly room, and the other one was the pouches that we like queued for 2 hours to get into the place to make them anyway.
And then it turns out, which we didn't know until we got home and checked on Instagram and Twitter, there was a whole other section to the showcase.
So there was like a Lush Moods section, like in another room attached to like the food hall. And this was another thing that got me. There were no signs for that. There was maybe one sign, and like for like all the talks, they had like talks during the day in like an auditorium section, and there was like 2 screens maybe that had like the itinerary on, but not where it was. Like, I had the time, but like if you're waiting in a queue, you can't go, oh, I'm gonna go see that
because you don't know where it is.
No, we've never been there before. We're not from Manchester. There've been many people from Manchester who've never been to that convention centre, and there were no signs. There was no direction of where to go, so we missed a whole section that had like a mood room with like water coming down, like, which looked pretty
amazing.
Cool.
It looked amazing.
It looked pretty cool, but on lots of videos that I've seen from the Sunday, there was nobody in there because nobody apart from the staff knew where it was. They literally could have had a guy with a sign that said, it's this way, and the auditorium's this way. Like,
we miss Chris Packham.
He's like my nature dad. And like, I was fuming. I was standing in the queue to get into the shop, and he was on the big screen, and I was like, 1, when did they say he was going to be on? And 2, where is he? Like, literally, we couldn't find him. He wasn't in the main hall. And I was absolutely fuming. And then I didn't realise until we got home that there must have been a separate room with like the auditorium, which we didn't know. Like, and it's stupid stuff like that that could have been resolved with something as little as like a programme. Like, I know they're like anti-paper Lush, and like trying to like reduce like how much waste there is.
But that's plastic, by the way.
But like, paper's recyclable.
Yeah.
And it just something as little as like, oh, there's this in this room, there's this in this room, or like a little leaflet, literally. Or they
send it via email when you paste your sticker.
Or they could have made like an app to like make the event more cool. We've been to like Comic Cons and stuff where you have like an app or a programme to tell you what's going on. And it's just little hiccups like that that just made me think, have they bitten off more than they can chew? Like, we spent maybe
6 hours.
6-7 hours of our day standing in queues, being told to go away, being told they had no products, or like you had to like book an appointment to do something. Which like, we were like, what if we spent £20?
So by 6 o'clock, we were like, you know what? Screw this, we're going to get the code approach him. It was until 8 o'clock.
Like, when I checked Twitter when we got home, there were people who were queued at the same time as us, or a little bit later, and it queued for like 5-6 hours. The event was supposed to finish at 8 o'clock. I know people who were still in that shop at 10 o'clock at night. They like had to keep it open because people were still queuing.
Yeah.
Like, and they can't say to people, "We'll go away." You queued 5 hours, go away, because that like would have been ridiculous. Which I thought was just really stupid. Like, obviously, 5 tills wouldn't have made sure the event finished at 8. Like, there was no way. And when we were in the queue to get to the shop earlier on, there was like 30 Lush staff behind us who were on their short shift, as I mentioned before. And one of the people from the shop went, who's like Lush staff? And like these people put their hand up, "No, you're gonna have to go away." They're like, "What?" They're like, "You're gonna have to go away. We can't deal with all the members of the public. You'll have to come back at say 6. So like there must have been Lush staff who have been there
As long as we had.
literally, and longer, because they got told to go away, that they couldn't buy stuff, even though they'd been basically told by the company that they'd be able to. Which I just thought was really rude. Like, if I worked for Lush and I wanted to go to this event, I'd be fuming. Like, I don't know about you, like I knew they were getting paid, but like it's also like a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But they were just really treated a bit crappy.
And the ones who were in the queue inside the shop before it was shut off were basically being told, "Give us all your products, tell us what Lush shop you work at, we'll send it to you in a bag." Like a Lush thing, you'll get it at the end of the week and then you just pay us back once we've arrived.
So yeah, Lush staff didn't really get a trace of whether they queued or not. They just got told, "Oh, give us your products, we'll send them to you." I don't know whether people actually got them or not.
I'm not entirely sure.
So when like I saw online that people were complaining, like an ongoing theme that was happening is somebody would comment something and the company would delete the comment.
On Instagram.
And or like Twitter, I've seen it on Twitter as well. And like then the person would comment, "Well, why is my comment being deleted?" Like, I'm only trying to ask a question. So like something that seems to be ongoing like the past week is that Lush either ignore you online, tell you they can't reply to you on Instagram because they're not allowed to, or like basically just they're trying to like sweep it under the carpet.
Trying to make it look like it was this amazing, fantastic event, and anybody who disagrees with that is basically being ignored.
I heard that like the Monday was a lot better, but there were still some issues. So like they put like promo videos up like, "Oh, did everyone do the showcase?" And as soon as somebody said, "No, I didn't," comment gets deleted. And like people are getting told, "Oh, emails at wecare@lush.co.uk." So I emailed them, and I know loads of people who've emailed them. And it took them about I'd say 5 days, 6 days to get back to me. So like something that people were saying is that their reply that they got was like a generic email. Like this whole, "Oh, we're gonna reply to everyone. We usually reply within 48 hours, but like we're getting loads of emails, so we'll reply to you, and like we care, do you know what I mean?" But everyone was just getting like a generic, "Oh, we're sorry that like you didn't enjoy the event. We'll pass our concerns on." So like it says, like I've got the email up here, and it says like, "Thank you for your email. We're sorry about the experience you had at the showcase on Sunday." And then just basically a paragraph where it's like, "Oh, we suffer from loss of internet. That's why the queues were large." And it was like, "I can assure you all your feedback will be passed on to the relevant team. We are more than happy to refund your ticket fee. So like tell us how much," which I think is alright considering the company were like, "Oh, we'll like refund you."
Yeah.
But then they kind of overlooking the fact that people
Travelled.
We know I've seen people who travelled from like Europe. I know people who travelled from Asia who weren't paid to do so. So they're not like they're overlooking the extra expenses. Do you know what I mean?
And they're just blaming the queues. They're not actually blaming the fact that it wasn't organised at all. And I was speaking to a girl on Twitter because they'd all had the offer of a refund. We hadn't had anything. And they got theirs 3 days before, and we only got the email back after I mentioned them on Twitter to this girl saying, "We haven't had anything yet."
Okay, so then I got a second email after I said, "Well, literally, like, you can't just like refund tickets and then not like apologise for anything else." And I've been given another email that says they'll offer me a gift card to basically like try and solve it, which I think is like quite nice of the company to do. Like many companies would just ignore you. And it's not I feel like the way they've dealt with it now is like, it's alright. Like,
yeah, but it's taken them a while.
it's taken them so long. And like, it's not just the fact that like, they've refunded us, that's fine. I completely understand that like, accidents happen. But it's the fact that so many people have been ignored and deleted online. And it seems like the company are trying to like, maintain this like, shiny appearance where like, everything's fine, like, everything's magical. We're all
very
magical.
Zoella, doesn't it?
Literally, it's
Feels
literally,
very Zoella.
like when big companies like Zoella and like, I know Boots have done it before, like loads of different companies, like loads of different brands, we all know it's happened, have just like completely ignored customers. So it's good that we're getting a refund, and it's good that like they're trying to like soften the blow by giving people gift cards. But I feel like there's been no statements as that, there's been no like mass address to people who like haven't complained. Like, it's stupid that people have to complain for the company to like realise that like they've done something wrong. And it's not just that, like, it's great that they're replying on email, but I just feel like a lot of people would feel a lot more respected by the brand if there was a generic statement, like just on their social media that said, we're sorry, like we addressed the issue, like it was because of this, like we'll try to be better, like that's fine. Like companies do make mistakes, but just to like sweep it under the carpet for the sake of like looking good as a brand and like looking like, oh, we're all magical, it's Christmas shades, like little old Lush, like it just feels a bit stupid. It feels like you're not really respected. I feel like it's not gonna, like it's not enough for Lush to completely lose loyalty from their customers. Like I get that it's not something huge, but I personally don't think I'd go to a Lush Showcase event again.
I don't think it'll be in Manchester again, which is really sad.
But like, and we love like the local bloggers events, and like I love my local Lush store.
And we're so excited for the new one. So excited.
Like all of our Lush staff, I can't fault Lush staff at all. They're all brilliant. I just personally, and I don't think you would either, would ever go to a huge event like that from Lush again, because I just don't think they can pull it off unless they have somebody else to organise it for
like
them.
an outside company.
Sometimes I think they push the whole we don't do anything wrong because we're an ethical company thing too much, when they don't realise that they do disappoint customers, and like it's just not seen on the internet, like especially on like Lush's social media at all. Like you just look at the brand as like they're like a shiny brand that like don't slip up at all. But I think that when there's an issue like that on the scale that it was, something should be addressed. But yeah, that's the whole tea on the Lush Showcase. I feel like we had to make this video just because it's something that I haven't seen on YouTube yet. Like I don't really know how people's experiences have gone so far, apart from like the ones on Twitter and like Instagram. So I thought we'd just share our opinion. Like this is all solely our opinion. We're not citing the company. Like it's just literally two girls' opinions.
I mean, we did spend in the end about 30 quid on the products anyway, so
the ones that we could get. Like please don't sue us. Literally two girls in the living room and filming. Like it's just my opinion, but I felt that I had to express it, and I hope that it just makes you think about like your brands and like where you shop. Not to shop there, but just to realise that things can go wrong, and not all brands and all makeup and beauty brands and like bath producty brands are as shiny and clean and straightforward as they may seem on social media. Just be smart and don't be afraid to complain, because otherwise issues like this aren't going to get addressed. So
I hope you like the stuff that we did actually film inside the convention centre.
Oh yeah, I'll put that at the end of this video, just so you can see like what we actually did see. We didn't film in the queue like we probably should have done, but like we didn't film like all the bad bits, just because originally this video was going to be like, oh, we had a great day at Lush Showcase, but I felt that wasn't right for us to put out because we didn't. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's something a little bit different, but I thought we just had to say it. So yeah, this being Cat and Law Explore. We put videos out like this in hopes that other people enjoyed them. So if you did, let us know. And that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.